Blame me.
Greetings, everyone. Rev.Hawksblood here. Today's an exciting day after the blood moon and everything else that went down, giving everybody major problems. Look, I can't say certain things because I'll lose my sight. I only got one more shot on YouTube, so I can't say certain words. I'm going to have to give you candy words for what I'm going to talk about, but that'll happen soon. But here's the thing, people. We have so much to talk about today and a lot of important, incredibly good things to talk about. Well, it depends how you look at it, but it's actually breaking down the closed doors that we have. Let me say greetings, Tina. Say hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody. I'm Tina Bird here in Southampton in the UK, and we're on encounters this evening with Tommy. First off, I'd like to apologise for last week. My mum was rushed to intensive care, and things went on, which is why Tommy's left hanging with the show. So I do apologise to Tommy. He's been very gracious about it, and to you guys. So I'm sorry I've missed out on that. But we have a really great show tonight. Tommy's done his work, and we're back. So Tommy, it's good to see you over in Hawaii.
I'm glad you're back. I'm glad you're safe and okay, and I'm glad your mom's doing all right.
Thank you.
Well, we have problems which we can't talk about, not those kind of problems, because what's going on. But I can say this: it's not against the law, I guess. The United States Pfizer company made it okay to give the booster shot from 5 to 12-year-olds. So now they're going to be giving young children the booster shots on top of everything else. All right, check out the information yourself on that, learn what's really happening. But the information today is probably the most important news that the UFO world ever heard in the past 50 years. And I'm not lying about that. Okay, it was just released. And tell everybody that says, oh, the United States government, Congress is going to have a special meeting on UFOs. After, they're going to go into a closed door meeting because they're going to have to decide what steps can they do. Well, MJ12 is already there. Hopefully, they'll get in communication and work together because they never did.
Tommy, can you turn your volume up a bit? Turn your volume up your end.
Hold on. I got it all the way up now. Can you hear me any better?
Yeah, it's going a bit quiet. Sorry, continue.
All right. So they're going to have a closed meeting and talk about it. Now, like I was saying, MJ12 has been involved with it since 1947. So hopefully, now they never worked with the government. They were separate, highest powered government people that didn't work with our government directly. They did whatever they want. Hopefully, they'll unite because they have all the information from everything that was going on and why it's going on, and they have all that information. So if they do actually get in touch with them, which they have to, because it entails the space program, if they're going to talk about the space program, they're going to have to say, what are you doing with 700?
I'll just stop you there, Tommy, because I'm so proud of you at this point. For those people who do not know, if you look back over our tapes, over a year, maybe 2 years ago, me and Tommy had this specific conversation that the military need to come out and address this issue, whatever way it would come out, and that they need to readdress the issues of security in UFOs. Nobody has talked about it on any other show until now. Me and Tommy broadcast this 2 years ago to say that this would actually happen. Tommy said that this event would happen on our show about a year to 2 years ago. Look back on our tapes, and that's all we've spoken about this last 2 years is the military should be releasing stuff. They should be releasing more, and they are a national threat, not just to us, but to every human. But so you heard it here. It's the first on the show. It's groundbreaking. So well done, Tommy.
And the thing that Tino always says, protection, people. The government is supposed to protect the people. Yeah. All right? Yeah. And we're people. Tina's a people. I'm a people. We're all people. So they're not protecting us in any way. So they need to talk about that. Or we're going to protect the rich people that are going to be living underground, but not the people that are poor and middle class living on the ground. All right. Now, we're going to go into a couple of things. I got more information to bring out, which is incredible. To me, it is. And hopefully to you. Look, we don't lie here. We don't tell stories. We don't wish and think things out. We tell what we feel and know and experienced. Experienced people, not repeating other people's words. Well, we might say a couple things about other people, but we talk about what we experience, what Tina experienced. She's been abducted, people. Really, not dreamland and everybody else's fantasy of I woke up and I was on a ship and they must have taken me in the middle of the night. No, there's a lot more proof she has of things she went through that nobody else did. Except, I just want to bring this up, people. In the UFO world, we got how many top speakers out there right now? Probably a couple hundred. Maybe 25% of them get paid big bucks to talk. But here's the thing. I was involved with the UFO world since I was 6 years old. By the time I was 16, I was working with women that have been taken and their children and baby unborn children were taken. All right. And I saw the proof. I wasn't doing it to make money. I wasn't doing it to write a book. I was doing it to help these women survive what they were going through and how to deal with it. Because the one woman, we went all through it. She showed me the sonogram and everything. And she went to the hospital the next day. They said, oh, you can't be pregnant. You're not. There's no signs of being pregnant. But here's the thing. All right. A year and a half later, she was abducted again, and they took a second child. And then after that, they told her she will never see the children again. Tell me that's not abuse. And guess what? The government didn't stop it. And they don't even care, didn't know, or didn't want to talk about it. However you want to look at it. I think they know so much, and they're not talking about it. And what Tina says, protecting us. I mean, I'm not worried.
This is very prominent now. This has come to the forefront, not only across America, but good examples are now in the Ukraine about women that are being abused or people that are being captured and tortured. People seem to forget when abductees come forward, not with a story, it's their account, it's an allegation. These people have been tortured. They've been taken by a different military, a different force from outside this world, from what we're not being protected from. They've encroached on our territory, in our home. They've taken us and tortured us. Now, this is happening in Ukraine and the whole world's crying out against it. This has happened to UFO abductees across the world and no one's done nothing about it. So that's where I'm coming from. Tommy's completely right. There's no protection for women, no protection or help for abductees. People like from Tommy, like 6 years old. There's no, and same for me, that there's nothing. But we did say, I've got to go over it again. We did say at least a year to 2 years ago, the message from us is, where is the help? Who's protecting the citizens, the tax-paying citizens? What, why is this being, we're not liars, we're not kooks. These things have actually happened to us. Where is our help? It's not that it should be just from different people around the world. Different people from around the world. And there's no help available. So Jeremy Corbell has this week not only just said, but it's the Pentagon. What, like Tommy rightly said at the beginning of the show, Jeremy Corbell is doing a thing. He's been on the American news. It's the Pentagon is joining Congress. It's not just Congress. The people from the Pentagon are actually going to Capitol Hill, wherever it is in America. They're having a meeting, a Congress meeting with the Pentagon, and a rare UFO hearing since the 60s. But another thing that happened this week as well is the Office of National Intelligence for America has said that these are physical object people. So these are not just UFOs. They're now saying that these are physical objects made by a force outside of our planet. So the Office of National Intelligence in the United States of America has now come out and said this week, Jeremy Corbell reported it on the news today, that they were physical objects, meaning that they were made by a different race, not by us. What also brought this to the forefront is, at the time in 2019, a lot of underwater UFOs were being reported. And they were always being reported off the coast of California. There was one major incident which this kind of stems from, which Jeremy Corbell looked at, was there was what he called a swarm of over 100 UFOs came out of nowhere and engaged 10 Navy warships off the coast of California. For how long the incident lasted, but there were over 100, and they were recorded, they were on radar, they were there. So and so there's lots have been going on. The military have their on this, but it's interesting on what the outcome and the public hearing is going to say, what the Pentagon is going to say with Congress. Sorry, Tony, over to you.
All right, people. You know, this is probably a really important time for the world. We're at the verge of almost going to World War III. We're having major fights in different countries. And, you know, for Russia to come out and say, we're going to declare war just last week, the bombing and everything else wasn't considered war. I mean, how do people think? Now they're talking about, there's words right now saying they're going to try to get Putin out. Uh, People have to realize when a war happens, people don't want to go to war. It's the government that says you got to go to war. So, you know, you make people fight, make them do things they don't need to do. It takes away the morals that we do have and just strips them away. And we have to be part of a system where you have to be able to be a killer. But again, MJ-12 had the power to do anything they wanted in the United States. When I was born, 1952, that was when the first giant wave of UFOs went over the White House. And they couldn't do a thing about it then. And they didn't. It happened twice in 1 week. So, you know, I was born in a year of that. And then 6 years later, I saw my first ship. It was coming to abduct my brother. And it went on. But what I'm trying to say is, it's been here a long time. Tina's a little bit younger than me. So when she was young, it was a little bit later. But it's a matter of who do they pick. They're not coming down and taking president, the vice president. They're taking any kind of person they want. And it's not they judge them, well, his blood's perfect, or my blood's perfect. They do their testing with their blood, and if they like it, then they probably come back for their family. I had a guy talking, his whole family and his grandfather were all abducted. All right, maybe they do like his blood. But again, nobody's protecting them, and nobody's making even a statement, we will try. There's no such thing as trying. They didn't offer anybody that, and they're not even suggesting they will try. So after this goes down, maybe we'll get a little more. I don't need it. I've been there, saw it, done it, saw every kind of alien ship, filmed them. But for people that never even saw a ship or even believe that they're really here, it will open a doorway for the truth to come out. Then, you know, imagine having 8 million, not 8 million, 8 billion people. Not, well, everybody's not going to work together, but even say 2 billion people working on an idea to help. All right. The more people involved with something, the more information you can get, the better it can be. What can we do about this? How can we stop it? How can we actually create something? I mean, they were pretty much undetected by radar, but when they did go into our radar field, they got taken down. When Roswell happened, oh, it was an accident. No, there was no such thing as accident. Billy Myers' alien friends said, and this isn't from Billy Myers, this is from a friend of mine who died. He said, they told him, if we shoot one ship of theirs down, they will start a war with the United States. All right. And that was a long time ago. That was about 25 years ago. I heard that. So there's a lot of things happening that mankind needs to hear. They're not going to tell us all the people they allowed them to abduct and all those. We don't need to hear it anyway, because that would just turn people off. They'd be afraid. They wouldn't even go out of their house.
But I think they're closer and there's more of them than you think. I mean, if 10 warships that were just passing through or nearby California, wherever they were watching them go in and out of the water, and 100 of these things appeared out of nowhere in seconds to attack 10 ships, just 10 to 1 ratio. That's 100 UFOs for every 10 UFOs for every Navy ship.
Yeah. All right. Now, I want to throw this out real fast because it runs out real fast when we do our show, but I just found out, I just saw the videos this morning. The sun, all right, it's online, showing hundreds of ships coming out of the sun from different parts of the sun. They show you a dying ship. They show you how they link together and form these lines. Just here in Hawaii, on Blood Moon, a friend of mine who told us yesterday, he saw it. These big white straight streaks coming during the equinox eclipse.
Yeah.
All right. And I didn't see it because my house is always super cloudy, but he told us, oh yeah, the 2 beams going across the sky. I'm not saying it couldn't be directed energy weapons. The government has to tell us something. They can't be in a war with an alien race in major an attack and not tell us. I mean, we'll see it. And if it comes out that way, it'd be so much worse for the government as far as people respecting the government. They need the little respect that they can get if they help us understand what's happening. it would be beneficial for everybody. I mean, Putin told Trump 6 months, between 4 and 6 months before he got elected, he wanted Trump to tell the world what they're doing with UFOs and aliens. And that never happened. Trump says, I don't believe in them. So again, the day after he meets Putin, he creates the space army. Well, he says he did. So think about what's going on. The little facts, put them together. They fit together pretty good. When you learn this and that, and you put it on a piece of paper and draw them, and they all connect, something's happening, and you can figure it out a little bit better than maybe there's aliens out there. There has to be. No, not there has to be. There are, and they are here. I mean, Tina doesn't have to question herself. I don't. But there's people that say, well, I don't believe it. They're not going to come here. Why would they come here? Well, there's a lot of reasons why. And in the UFO world, there's debating why they're coming here. And it's
well, in America, they're spending your tax-paying dollars this week, and lots of them, to talk about it in Congress with the Pentagon. So your security is paying for it, your government's paying for it. So they're not paying for a fantasy. Believe you me, these people are very serious. And sadly, I think it's too little too late. Many years too little too late. They're not approaching the subject of abduction at the moment because that's a whole can of different worms. But perhaps now, if the Office of National Intelligence in America is saying this, perhaps now this is the push or spur they need to give abductees free medical treatment around the world in any country. Anyone that's proven or seen to be or come forward and has any of these symptoms or needs psychological, physical, mental help with anything from being abducted should get free treatment. I'm always
I agree 100% with you on that because nobody's paying for it. Why? It's because the government didn't do their job. All right. And see, here's another thing.
They're paying to investigate them attacking warships, but they're not investigating them attacking and taking human beings. Like I said, any way you want to look at it, that is contact. Where is alien contact? Well, abductees are telling you they're being made contact with. You know, they are being taken. They have bits taken out of them against their will. They're being taken covertly from their homes at night time. So they are an invading force in our world, which we are not being protected about. And it's about time they took it seriously. Fair play. It's the first step. It's a very small step. They protect themselves. They've got a long way to go yet. But we said this would happen, and it should have happened many years ago.
Well, you know, we got ourselves in this place where most people don't care. They got enough problems trying to pay their bills, trying to buy food. Food shortages are happening, all these things. They don't have attention on anything. They can't focus on anything that could be more dangerous than that even. And
Shanghai were rioting because of the COVID. They didn't have food. Where's that? There's another country, the other side of the Philippines. They have no food. Sri Lanka doesn't have food. Certain countries are stopping exports now. And in Britain, I think we've had between 7 and 11% food rise. So just supposing like a 5 or 10 litre gallon of or 10 litre tin of oil used to cost you £15. It's like nearly 48 pounds from 15.
Well, gas is the highest it has been again here in Hawaii today. It's the highest in California.
It cost me £90 to fill my car. Well, it used to be 40 to 50. Then it went to 60, then 72. But a few weeks ago, now it's nearly £90 to fill my car to go to work.
People, again,
it's coming.
I want you to listen to what we're saying. We're not exaggerating anything. We're not trying to make fake stories. We're not trying to make you buy something. We're just trying to tell you to become aware of what's happening. It's out there. So now I want to go back to this thing about the sun. When I watched it, these fleets of giant numbers of ships get together and they form these giant lines and they start shooting through space. So you got a picture of the one ship coming out. It kind of looks like it spreads wings when it comes out. Kind of really bizarre looking thing. She says, I don't think they're any kind of human looking things, and I'm sure they're not. But the other thing is, I just talked to somebody, and when they come through the sun, doesn't mean they're living in the sun's temperature. The sun's probably the aura around the planet, and the city inside it is protected. Don't ask me how it all got created. I'm not there, and I don't want to be there. But when they come out, I mean, it has to withstand a certain amount of heat to come away from the sun. But it's not being burnt up and roasted, and anything that we put up there would be. So there's so much going on with that. And if there's fleets of ships by the hundreds coming out in the past couple of days, I think it might have shaken somebody in the government. Hey, check this out. What's it mean? What's it mean? It means I've been saying this, they're ready to do what they're going to do. And it's not going to be the most pleasurable thing for the humans. I guarantee that. Look what's happening to Tina. Abductions have been going on for how many years? And how many people did they abduct? Nobody knows. Not every abductee even is aware of it.
I've seen hundreds of people on this like travelator thing. Like they were awake, but they weren't. Their eyes were open, but they weren't there. Hundreds of them, hundreds and hundreds of them. They were fully clothed, just people that didn't even know people that don't even know they've been abducted. And now, if that's just from one encounter, then there must be taken tens of thousands of people from around the world every night.
Well, I always
been taken and don't even know or don't remember that they've been abducted. Sorry.
Now, I gotta throw this word in all the time because it's one of the biggest words in the UFO world now. All right, and it's called experiencer, meaning it's a great experience for them. It's not.
I hate that word. I hate that word.
I hate it because these people come out. Oh, it was such a great trip. They took me here and took me there. They showed me this and showed me that. Really? I mean, Corey Good was the first person coming out saying they showed him videos of the past, present, and future. All right. If they can do that, they can put anything you want in your mind. But guess what, people? And I'm not going to be making this up. Check out HAARP It's called the HARP system. They can project thoughts into anybody on the planet with that.
Well, I mean, when I was taken and I had an opportunity, they said to me I could go with them, but it meant I could never come back to Earth, never come back to my family. And it was like a yes or no kind of decision. I said, no, I want to go back. I said that I was kind of very brave. And this was how I was going to die. They showed me like a picture of the end of the world and this huge great explosion. And then they showed me this war that's happening now. And then this is in my case notes from 16, 17. It's documented online. I said in 2022 to 2024, 28, whatever, 26, 28, that the war would start and it would happen. And I saw fires in the sky, a lot above London, all the sky was red. And they also told me the others were coming. They're not supposed to come here, but they do. They told me that was going to happen. And I had to remember a number. I think it was 3878 or something. I wrote the number down. I haven't really thought about it in years. But they showed me all these things that have happened. And I can't say they've come to pass because they kind of have in a way. But they do show you things, whether that's from their present or past or future. But they do show you some scary scenes, like your life ending now, the world's going to die.
Well, we're at a place, okay, we're seeing these things, but guess what? It gets worse than that. And I'm one of the few people that can talk about it. Nobody else does. When the Philadelphia experiment happened, it kind of got washed away like an imaginary story. When the Montauk Project happened, it still became a bigger make-believe story to most people. All right, what really went down with the Montauk Project. But I was friends with Nick Baggage. Oh, wrong name, sorry. Al Bielik. And he was one of the only people that came back on that ship when it went back and forth in time. I don't want to get into that in detail, but they created a vortex, one of the most dangerous vortex on the planet, people. Not just a vortex, the most dangerous one. All right, what it did, it made a gateway between the lowest part of the astral plane and this realm. Nobody's going to talk about that because they have no clue. You don't have to believe me either. But what they did, they made an open passage for these things to come through it. So we are getting really strange creatures, entities, you name it. If you watch TV, I know most people, you don't want to watch TV. All these ghosts and paranormal creatures and stuff coming out, and the shows that show paranormal stuff, check out the videos of the creatures they're filming everywhere now. Not one person, multiple ones. Sure, there's a fake one here and there, like the little boy that came out of the house and they said he was an alien doing a jig around the house and all that. It looked cool, but I said, take the picture. I took the picture of the sun, took a picture of the alien, put it right together. He just kept his legs sideways, had a pair of underwear over his head, and underwear on, and he walked around like this and around the car. But he opened the door and came out. So they said it was an alien, whatever. But there's incredible videos now coming out weekly. Watch TV in 1 week and watch these shows. The entities and the weird things they're filming of these, whatever they are everywhere. So it's not just aliens, it's interdimensional creatures as well. All right. I mean, the astral plane is not too far from this reality. But again, when they come here, their abilities are different. The way they move, the way they walk, their vibration, their energy, their level, it's all different. I mean, grays can like float across the ground when they want as well. So it's a lot different than we perceive it. I mean, as far as like going through walls and stuff, the humans could do that. They did it periods of time, but to be able to do it whenever you want, like I could walk through this wall today and things like that, aliens can do it. Not every day they open your window, come in through the window and take you and then go back out through the window. I mean, they're working at a higher energy, higher vibration, not better. I'm not saying better. Because you say they're higher vibration doesn't mean they're better or more spiritual. It means their vibration's less than ours because we're coarse, hardcore vibration where they are not. I'm talking about these entities that are coming through. So they can go through solidness because they're not hard and solid like we are in general. So there's a lot of things happen all at the same time right now. Not yesterday, not last year. I mean, those things been happening, but it's compounded because it's all happening greatly right now. And why not? Aliens love war. A lot of two alien races love war. They always been around in Vietnam and World War I, World War II. I mean, George Washington was doing remote viewing then and stuff. So, you know, all these things were in place. All right. Now, what are we going to do about it? Well, we can't do much unless the government opens their book and says, hey, look what we got, and tells us, which hopefully we'll get something out of this whole thing going down. I mean, Tina needs some kind of, not disclosure for herself. I mean, some kind of actual wording of, well, maybe we'll help you. Maybe we'll pay for your bills. Maybe we'll help. Something to say, hey, look, we screwed up. We can't protect you, but we'll make amends. I mean, anybody else trips over a washing machine, anything, a tire, they sue the company and they get money.
But if you get even families that were taken during different wars have been compensated, through other countries. It's the fact that they dismiss abductees that have medical issues. I mean, I'm lucky, or I shouldn't say lucky enough to live in the UK, but we have a very good national health system. It's under strain. But these other countries and poorer countries that don't have access to that, they can't tell anybody what's happened to them. They can't tell anybody that it's hurting them. They can't afford x-rays or scans or operations to put things right, or painkillers or medications, or when you're vomiting blood and you've got an ulcer burst and scarring inside your body that physically hurts you and you're vomiting blood for weeks because of something that's happened, they've done inside your body. And not just you, your partner or another member of your family has the same thing. Who's looking after you? Who's paying your bills? Who's paying for your time off work? Who's paying for your medical attention? What's happening? These things that affect what you eat, what you can drink, how you're feeling. Nobody takes that into account. They just think people make it up in their head. They're not taking into account the physical and emotional side of this. And unfortunately, there are poorer countries with poorer people, and in the Amazon, that don't have access to any of that or any of that help. Not that it can help you here in Britain. If you went to a doctor now and said that you've been abducted, they'll probably still put you in the loony bin. But this is a common day fact now. So many people, millions of people owed apologies. The amount of people that are locked up in nut houses over the years and kept under lock and key because they've said they've seen the UFO, not even because they've been abducted by one. And the amount of information now, people will be, abductees will be sought after now for the information that they know, whether that's consciously or subconsciously. I think abductees hold a lot more information that the intelligence community would now like to find out. But Tommy, over to you.
All right, I want to bring up a word called implants. Tina could talk about that, but I want to say this first. I can't remember his name. I'm bad with names. I got problems with memory, names. But basically, I met the person that was doing the implant removals. He had a couple bottles of them. All right. He showed a video of him cutting one out of a person's arm. And when they cut a little spot, the thing was moving up his arm. And then they put something, we're holding it down, and they actually finally got it out. When they took it out of the body, it was completely void of anything, any kind of energy or anything. But while it was in the person's arm, it had this energy within it, and they measured it. So these implants are ways that the aliens can track people. And Tina had multiple ones put in. She might even have one in her now that she doesn't know.
That's one taken out my hand. I don't know. I got a pen on my hand, but just there. Can you see that scar? I have one taken. Oh, I can't see it right there. Try and get it there. See the scar in there? It's right there. Hold on, I've got a pen there. I'll draw around it so you can see it.
Her boyfriend cut one out of her somewhere as well.
My bottom.
So, this is things that they do.
See
the scar, people? Multiple people have been given implants, all right? And they don't even know it. And how they can track them and follow them and why. There's reasons. Once they find a person of blood that they like, maybe they want to use it. All right. That's why they keep with Tina. They like her, something. Whatever it is, they really like her. They're keeping her alive. They didn't kill her or eat her. So that takes it a lot further than some of these other unlucky people. You hear the truth here. I don't hold anything back. Tina's telling the truth that she knows. So you're not going to get more information on any other site from any other person talking in the UFO world. All right. Videos are videos. We could show videos. I could show videos. But, a lot of times people say, well, that's fake. That's it. Even if there was 10 million videos out, if just one of them was real.
Tommy, how much evidence is enough evidence? You could continue showing pictures and evidence and greys and abductees all your life, unless the actual government says yes. The government just need one picture of a rare bird to stop billions of pounds worth of projects and drilling going ahead.
Well, when Tina talks, I feel so bad because she has no protection, no help, and anything. But here's the thing, people. In the United States, I don't know how it is in her country or other countries, psychiatrists and psychologists cannot humor you if you say you were abducted, possessed, those kind of words. They can't humor you and say they're real. They will not admit that they're real. They cannot admit that it's real, because if they admitted it was real, they'd have to treat you for it.
Now they can't admit that they're not real because the US Office of National Intelligence says that they're real and that they are being manufactured, these UFOs, and not by us.
It's like the old vets finally getting some money for what they went through, but these people that suffered half of their life. No, I don't see people becoming super different because they were abducted in a good way, going out and buying their own plane and flying around the universe trying to film UFOs or whatever. They're not doing things that would make them better. Is what I'm saying is alien races have been here such a long time, and they didn't help us do anything other than one serious bad thing, is create more dangerous weapons. The person that you were listening to, and he talked about, well, they shut down the nuclear reactors one time for 1 hour.
Actually, more than one time. But the problem is, these beings are seeing us as a threat on our own planet. So that is a serious, that is beyond intelligence issue. That is the end of humanity issue. If these beings are, there could be us from the future, they could be us, or they could have lived here all along before mankind came along, or they're visiting or taken over, or they're living under our oceans. But these beings, whatever they are seeing mankind as a serious threat. For have 100, you would need 100 UFOs to make their point, to swarm 10 Navy ships. They're seeing us as a huge threat on our own planet. What does that tell you, people?
When people come out and say, oh, if they wanted to kill us, they would, they could. I said, yes, that's obvious.
Probably have. You just haven't heard of it, and you wouldn't believe them if they did. Look at Philip Schreiber.
But here's the thing, people. They don't want to kill us. They need what we have. And we're not going to go into all the little things that it is, people and bodies and food and everything else. But the idea of weapons, why would they give us weapons to fight and stop nuclear submarines and ships that had them? All right. We're close to war. They don't want us to blow up the planet. That's what they don't want. During Vietnam, they were around. People that I knew talked about aliens that were there. They abduct dead bodies. They abduct people too. I mean, you go missing in the battlefield, they're not going to say anything other than missing in the field. So many people were taken during wars, so they like wars. But if we blew up the planet, they wouldn't get anything else from our planet again, would they? So it's a combination of what they really need, what they really want. All right.
But,
And
but
wait, let me
Roger,
see. All these UFO people go, we don't know what they want. We don't know why they're here. Yes, you do.
Tommy,
Wake
but
up.
you just made a good point there. If they are, against they're attacking us, if these, you going back to the California incident again, if they have a base or they've made homes or they've made some communication or a gateway under our sea, they're seeing us as a threat encroaching on their territory, which is why they're sending swarms of UFOs out to meet ships on the surface. They're seeing us as a threat, a direct threat on their habitat. But it's our planet. So they're a foreign invader on our planet. You know, what is going on here? People, that is a serious threat to humanity. And not
Yeah, I
just
know.
someone, not just an abductee saying that. And if you cannot see that, then, you know, perhaps you
Yeah.
do need to
Well,
see someone. But the military need to be stepping up their game. If they're here and they're seeing us as a threat going near their locations to send 100 UFOs to attack ships that weren't even military active, they were passing through the territory, you have a serious issue.
somebody says we're at war. I know we're at war, but it's not considered World War III yet, and it will go into that. All right. I'm not going to go into all the other things that are going on. UN Agenda 21-30. Read it. Understand what it is. We're in level 4. All right. By 2030, they want to have one world order around the world. 193 countries agreed on that. All right. Before 2000. So guess what? It's happening right now. All right. That's one other little thing that's happening in between all this other stuff that's going down. Why do you think they're building underground cities across the United States? Why, people? And not one person talks about it. Not one person. I bring it up every week whenever I can. Why would they be building underground cities? And who's going to live in them? And Jesse Ventura had a couple people on. Fred Bell, who's really one of the most important people in the UFO world, who was killed after he did that show with Jesse Ventura. They were talking about this. They went into the White House and they talked about the HARP system to the person that decided what they were going to do with the HARP system in the White House. Jesse Ventura went in the White House, interviewed, and talked to one of the people there that was involved with creating what they're going to do with the HARP system. Fred Bell actually created the whole idea of how it works, which Tesla invented. And they were using it for a while. It's the most dangerous weapon on the planet. And we have one here in Hawaii. We have one on the other island. And there's one up in Alaska, the first one that was built. So guess what? There's a lot of things. But guess who taught Tesla anything he knows, people? And nobody else is going to admit this. I saw his personal notes. He said, I worked with an alien race. They gave him 200 inventions, 50 of the most deadliest weapons that we could possibly imagine. And the United States government took them. The rest of the 150 inventions went back to his country. And they created a Tesla museum. But again, he admitted it. I worked there. I'm not going to go into that whole story. There were ships going in and out of the reservoir, Wanacue Reservoir, for 9 months. Nobody ever talked about that. When they flooded the city, they didn't explain why they were flooding a city. All right, all these things that happened right after they flooded the city, the ships kept going in and out of the reservoir. And there's just more stories on top of stories that the UFO world doesn't talk about. They don't talk about Phil Snyder. They don't talk about the important things that went down. Oh no, the good aliens, and we're going to talk to them. We know who that is, who wants to teach everybody how to talk to aliens. Well, you think we need to talk to them about what they're doing? Oh, and they talk about, and he also said, one person said, we will not need a government once we make contact with aliens. Really?
Another thing with that is, you're right, what happened is, I'll go back again, I'm harping on a bit, but what happened then if these military ships did have intent and these ships, would the UFOs sink our ships? And if so, what government would go to the aid of the US, or government would take responsibility of taking the next step against bombing UFOs or shooting them down for attacking ships if they were, to perceived it that?
You know, there's so many stories that we can piece together. I mean, when they say the Bermuda Triangle, they found a couple ships that disappeared. They found some things. They didn't find everything that just disappeared. So, when things disappear, like in the United States, the state parks, how many people disappear in a year's time? They don't have to say it. They don't have to put a sign up saying, well, we lost 200 people this year.
Alaska lose loads, don't they?
There's just so many things like that nobody talks about. Two writers wrote books on the number of population on each park, how many people disappeared. The car's there. The whole family's gone. Oh, they all fell off a cliff? They would be at the bottom of the cliff. Oh,
no bones
where
were
did
ever
they go?
found.
The bears came and ate them all? Really? The stories that are there are dangerous. And I'm going to tell you this. We're going to actually know there's a Bigfoot and they're real by the end of this year. Completely. The same as we're going to know aliens are real. This is the year it's going to explode. I was hoping it would be a little sooner.
Tommy, we already know aliens are real. It's whether the viewers want to think that they're real. And the Office of National Intelligence in America knows that they're real. And MI15 knows that they're real.
Well, people, this is the time Tina pulls out her little box and shows us what's happening with her body. All right. Now,
I think that needs rephrasing it, Tommy. Where's yours? So, this is mine, and Tommy has the identical one. This is my second.
I got another one too. Here it is.
There you go. Tommy's got his there. I bought mine on Amazon. It wasn't very much. This is my second one. The other one I had, I dropped it just for Christmas last year. I'm going to turn it on here. There we go. So at the top, you can see volts per meter and micro Teslas there. So that's an electrical magnetic field. It's off already. So mine doesn't. There you go. Mine doesn't go off when it goes to the TV. Mine does not give off electrical signal. My TV, because it's like a smart TV, so there's no signal coming off. The numbers you can see at the bottom there is because the closer I hold it to my body, or the closer I get, the more the numbers go up. So we're going to just going to put it there.
Well, turn it around and face you and look at the numbers. Does it change? Because mine's at 150 right now. When I put it towards the TV, I mean to them, it drops down.
So it does. Like there's nothing there until there. Like that is reading 30. Depends what part of the body it's in.
Okay, people, some level of radiation. It's impossible, people, for it to change. All right. It's impossible. See, people, she's not making this up. It's something. She's probably one of the only people in the United States and the other countries in the whole world that have that going on right now. All right. Radiation is extremely dangerous, and she had or has a lot of the symptoms of radiation poisoning.
Can you see that 136?
I'm sure if it was other people, they'd be very sick and dying or dead. I say she's protected in a lot of ways, but she's still radioactive. And it comes and goes. It gets higher and it gets lower. Impossible. I talked to my brother, talked to scientists all over. Nobody will admit that it's possible. One person goes, well, it's not reading radiation. But it doesn't do that on anybody else. I got one right here. Same exact one. And it doesn't do it on me. It doesn't do it on anybody I put it on.
I've got a high electrical magnetic field of micro Teslas, people. So look up micro Teslas. That's the electrical magnetic.
See that number? It's extremely high, Tina.
When it's beeping, that's the dangerous. When it's beeping, and that's the danger zone. That is permanent damage.
That's she in her book and stuff. You could read all the things she had to go through, is going through. But people, we're not here to make you daydream, go into la la land. We just want you to deal with the truth. All right, face it. Face what's happening. We don't truly know what the future in the next 2 years is going to be, what they're really going to do when they come here. I say this is my viewpoint. If you watch the movie V, that's exactly what they're going to do. That's why I'm saying all these new agers going, I'm an experiencer. I'm saying that because they're going to brainwash them, because Mr. Stephen Greer wants everybody to talk to aliens, and we start talking to them. Well, we're going to help you. Just get ready to come up on our ships, and we'll teach you. And just like in the movie, watch it. Watch that movie. Watch what they really came for. When you start a war.
Sorry, Tom, before we go, My niece recently went to Norway and she brought me back one of their little gogs from
Oh,
Norway.
cool.
It's a little try. So I'd like to thank
It looks like a gnome,
my
a
niece
troll.
and thank you to the guys in Norway, and thank you for my niece for getting that, and thank you very much.
Tina, I went to Disney and they had all the different countries, and I bought this gnome that I actually saw in my life, a real one. But this is a statue that I bought. I finally lost it. I don't know how, but it was scary for a lot of people that looked at it. But it was what I actually saw. I saw 13 of them, kind of like the 7 dwarfs. But countries have different spirits and energies and creatures that they deal with. Does that mean they're real or not? People say that's just a myth. It's just no. I got into that on my last show I did 2 days ago about myths and legends. Are they real or aren't they? Are deities real? I said this is what my conclusion is. They're real, maybe in a different vibration and a different level, but they can come and slip in and out of our reality, and that's how people see them. Or we get very seldom do we slip into their reality because we'd have to raise our vibration, not like, oh, I'm a 7th-dimensional being, I'm a 6th-dimensional being. Now, that doesn't change who you are really. All these people daydream, oh, I'm a 6th-dimensional being now.
I'm a human being.
Yeah, a 6th-dimensional human being, right? Again, I don't know anybody in history other than one person that had super incredible abilities like one person did. But in general, I'm fighting with a whole bunch of people about that because, well, we all have abilities. We all have abilities, but at a minute level. So, like,
A high pitched
let
scream
me
in
say,
my ear.
Caroline Corey, watch a new movie. I didn't watch it. Yeah, I watched the first movie. Says she can levitate a piece of paper. I said, if you can levitate a piece of paper, you can levitate a car. And I was a magician, and I got into a big debate. Somebody swearing that llamas can levitate. I said, let me at them. I'll prove that they're not levitating. The only person
Unless
that
you
was
never
on,
take some money my way.
yeah, money would help a lot. But I mean, I'm not asking anybody for money. Want to send me a gift, anything you want, but not a bomb. Okay. Here's the thing, people. Our time is running out, and we need to get in place where we need to be. I mean, aware and understanding our karma, the world's karma, what's happening, why we allowed things to happen the way they do, because we don't put our attention on the right things. Musk could be spending money on this instead of going to Mars.
Oh,
go ahead.
This week, just before we go, have you seen the gateway on Mars? They thought it's actual got like angles on it. It's like a carved in the rock gateway with an arch over the top of it. They're not on Mars.
Oh, they put another picture out of it with a guy coming out of it.
No, yeah, they're just because they're
trying. No, I'm just saying they're adding to it already.
They're trying to detract from it, but yeah,
exactly.
They actually spotted that, haven't they, on Mars?
And now, if there's a man there, obviously it's not real, and it's like let's take away the attention off of it. But yeah, they put this square opening in Mars. Looks like a doorway into the rock. So Corey, I could say Laura Eisenhower. I had on my show for about 2 hours, and she says she went to Mars with the president. I mean, do you want to believe her story? I believe we went to Mars. I don't know if I would believe that Laura Eisenhower went with the president.
Oh, I've been to Jupiter. I didn't been on it, but I've been past it.
So, what I'm saying is, these stories, you have to pull the truth out of them. All right, what's really true about it? What's made up? What's even Travis Walton? His story changes. Now, the other person,
Travis is. I like Travis.
I know you like Travis, but again, I talked to him. I was fighting with him a lot for 6 months about what he has. His hand, this spiritual healing hand.
He goes around with.
Oh, so all these things, but I'm hardcore. To prove it to me, like if you say you can levitate, I was a magician for 25 years. I know just about every levitation idea and device they use in that realm. So this one guy did a TV show, traveling the world to find somebody that could levitate. He went to Tibet, find this Lama. He's on the other side of the room. He goes, you have to stay there. And he rose about 2 inches. And he wasn't allowed near him. I said, let me near him. I'll prove it's fake. There's so many ways that you can do. David Kopp, Doug Henning, Chris Angel in New York City, levitated a person right in the middle of the city in the park. All right. But there's things you had to do to prepare for it to happen. So, we assume what we see is real. And I was a magician. I was a hypnotist. It's easy to make people see things as well. I'm not going to go into all that. That you can hear on my other show. But the idea is, when I saw a UFO, nobody made me see it. When my friend was with me, we both saw it. We weren't talking about hypnotizing each other. We just, what's that noise? And we looked, and there was an alien walking around in my basement. And then we grabbed sticks and started running after it, went right through the door. And then we went up to our room, and then we saw the ship take off. So, but I was only like 13, 12 or 13. I'm not sure which year. But again, that's my experience. Do I want you to believe it? No. But it opened my eyes to the truth that it's real. All right. We weren't hallucinating and all that kind of stuff. Because my mother said, what did you see? She made him go in one room and she asked him. Then she made me come out and talk to her. And she asked me questions. And she goes, I don't believe it, but you both have the same story. All right. And everything else. My mother, I talked to deities and angels and said, you can't do that. There's no such thing. My mother tried pulling me out of all those kind of things when I was young. But it happened to me. And you can't forget it. Tina can't forget what she went through. My mother could say, oh, it's all make-believe. It's all in your mind. No, it's not. When she pulled out an implant, guess what? It was a real implant. Go ahead, Tina. We got any time, so let you say anything you want, your book, anything you want to talk about, please.
So I'm still having problems with on my little shelf here, and each week I'm going to try and change the pictures. I've got some pictures. I found some pictures, guys, just like people we've meeting. So there's me and Linda Moulton Howe, lovely lady, great experience, sir, a journalist, I should say. And there's me and Professor Bob Jacobs. There you go. And so there's me, the guys from one of the people that Tommy doesn't like, actually. So there's Richard Doland, his wife Tracy, Lexi Brooks, me, and oh God, Mike Mars. I want to say, I can't remember. There's me and Dion Johnson. Well, there you go. He just in Gary Heseltine's film they've done together, Cable Green. Fantastic. Keep an eye out for that. And again, from the UFO Truth magazine and Ancient Aliens. So you might see a few faces here. And there's me and Robert Fleischer. He's from Germany. He's also a journalist that does things. And there is David Adair, me, and Sonia Grace, I believe, as well. And I have other pictures. There's me, and so this is the Cable Green guys and RF Ballbridge there. So there's the guys there. Larry Warren. But yeah, so I have each week I'll try and put some different pictures up of different people of me and bits and pieces you guys are start to send me. But I've got my book there, T.A. Bird, The Guardians of Light and the Brotherhood of the Night. I've got T.A. Bird, The Checkpoint. I'm doing part 2 to that. This, however, is my new. Oh, here it is. My new one. But I'm still having. I can't believe it. A year later, I was having so many problems. There's the back, so I've signed that, and there's the front of my book. Very nicely done for me. It's called The Bonded: The Truth About Alien Abduction, the Tina Bird account. So that should be out, I'm hoping, this year. It needs to be out this year as soon as possible. But between working and that, and again, I wasn't here last week, so I do apologise for that. But keep looking up, guys. If you have a question from a previous show, or you have a question about this show, please email us, message us, let us know. Tommy will put his email address up in a minute. We can get an answer for you. If you have an answer from a question we've asked in the previous show, then please let us know. Or if you'd like to know more about a certain subject we have mentioned or touched on, we can go back and perhaps revisit that for you. But from me here in Southampton in the UK, it's going to be good evening. Thank you for watching me and Tommy. Tommy's obviously broadcasting from Hawaii, and we do many things in between, and we do different shows, and we go other places. So if you have an interest in something else we do or stuff Tommy's been doing, please let us know. Tommy, can you put your email address on up? So Tommy's put his email address up, guys. So if anyone out there would like to send him a message, send us an email, a letter, a question, or an answer, or would like to come on the show, then please email Tommy. He's just going to put his theirs at the bottom of the page there. It's hawksblood1@aol.com. Please message Tommy, and we will be back next week, hopefully with an update from Mr. Jeremy Corbell or the Office of National Intelligence or the Pentagon or Congress. Hopefully this week will bring us some much given and awaited answers. We just got one more question, I think, in the chat room. Did they give you the high? What the hell? Okay. So from me here in the UK, Tommy, it's been great. And again, I do apologise for last week. My mum being in intensive care. Send her well wishes.
Well, good luck. I hope everybody stays healthy now. And we'll do this again next week.
See you all again next week.
Anything important, text me, please, Tina. Okay?
Yes, I will. Take care. Goodbye. Thanks, guys. See you next week. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Tina. A great person. She showed a lot of pictures of friends she was with. I was with some of them, but I was with a lot of the big UFO speakers way back, and most of them are dead, sorry to say, or disappeared. But here's one person that was killed, but I suggest you want to read a UFO book, don't buy everybody else's book. This would probably be the most important book today, and I bought it 24 years ago in the UFO world. There's more information because he actually worked on the HARP system. All right. Can you see that? All right. Remember the book, Rays of Truth, Crystals of Light. Incredible book. Incredible information that nobody had at that time. All right. Another book. I can't get the book down. Sands of Time. It's based on fact. And you need to read it. It explains a lot of things. But you want to just read stories and people making up stories, go right ahead. I don't do UFO books, believe it or not. In all my time, I only try to do things that relate to spiritual growth. How to See God was my first book. When Truth is Called Crazy was my second book. Truth Beyond the Illusion was my third book. And my fourth book was True Teachings of Jesus from God Realization. So I keep it there because it's much more important than aliens. But then again, people don't want the truth. People are happy with stories and lies and fairy tales, which I can't do. I'm sorry, I can't get into that or do that. All right. But again, this thing is real. I bought one, she bought one. You saw what happened when she put it next to her body. And once in a while, it doesn't go off. So however it comes and goes in her body is incredibly different than any other person on the planet. Why? I don't know. No scientist can help me. No scientist agrees with me. Oh, it's not real. Oh, we didn't make a trick Geiger counter. We didn't fake that. I take my Geiger counter with me out once in a while, measure the radiation in different places. It goes off when I go near a school in Hawaii. Basically, they put buried bombs there years ago. And they put the school right next to it because it was donated land. But it goes super high when they go right next to it. So, and then when I go up to the one tower, the cell tower, nothing happens. I go to the other cell tower and the whole parking lot's radioactive. So it picks up signals. It picks up radiation. I don't care what people say, yes, no, it's only picking this up. It's picking up radiation. All right. And she is contaminated. She went through all the symptoms, and I hope she's doing okay. I mean, she still has it. I mean, I don't want to get into it. She'll listen to her story in the book and things like that. But people, it's going to explode. Are you ready to face the truth? If not, I'm sorry. You're going to have to. You're going to have to realize Adam and Eve wasn't the first beings ever created, that they weren't the first race or whatever that came to this planet and all these other things. But I'm going to say this right now. Don't believe anything any alien tells us. All right? That's going to go against all the UFO people they were talking to them, and they didn't say one important thing yet, did they? And when the government comes out and says they're here, why have they not made contact in the way that people want to, like say hi? Because they don't care about people. If they did, they would be helping us, people. Do you understand that? Oh, I'm a healer, but I'm going to wait till 90% of the people are dying, and then I'll try to heal somebody. No, if you could do something, you do it when you can, before the disaster hits, not after. All right. They haven't helped us with our water, our air, or the contamination to the planet, to the destruction of these war countries that are fighting. You don't think they could take Putin's whole base out, or the United States government take the White House away? They could do a lot of things, but they're not playing that game either, are they? Why? Because the alien races here have been working with Russia, that I know for a fact. They've been working with the United States government for a fact. Germany's always being pushed that they had spaceships and everything else, but they weren't working with aliens in any great level, and they have nothing to prove it. The United States does. I mean, you're not going to see the weapons they have until they have to use them. I know there was a video out online from not Putin, but one of the highest people, generals or whatever they're called, in Russia, says, oh, we could eliminate the United States in 2 hours. That's what he said. Putin said they're working with 27 alien races, people. All right, and that was 6 months before Trump got elected. People, you don't want to hear the truth. You want to hear the oh, the good aliens are going to come help us, and we're going to play ping pong or whatever. You want to hear lies. You want to hear more lies. You want to believe in a fairy godmother. Oh, Jesus is going to come back and save your sorry little butt, because he has better things to do. All right, working with spiritual beings and people, not people that don't want to know the truth, want to live in fairy tale land. Look, I'm aware of all my lifetimes back to Atlantis and one before it. And you know what really bothers me? The race that I came from, before I came to this planet as my first incarnation, was the blue race. All right. And I know Corey Good says he's working with the blue race, but there's 3 different blue races. So again, people, what race are you working with? What do you think they're going to do? How are they going to help us? When are they going to help us? When the Greys and the reptilians and the Anunnaki and I mean, the Greys, the tall whites are separate. The Greys do go on reptilian ships. Reptilians have mantis on their ships. I'm telling you, you don't have to believe me. Mantis is the highest out of all those lower beings or whatever. And the mothership usually has 1 mantis on it. That's the captain of the ship. So that being said, people, I work with the mantis. They're good people. Are they really? What's a good person do? The only thing, if a real good person came in my life, they put 10 gold bricks on my property or something like that. Okay, you're a good person. I'll believe it. Is Musk giving everybody on the planet $100,000 or $50,000 or anything like that? No, he's dealing with Twitter, and a big battle's going down. Now the stock market crashed the highest a couple of days ago. And it's a big deal what's going on with that, what Musk did and is doing and what's happening. Check it out. I'm not going to go into that. That's not part of my world right now. I don't believe in buying any kind of gold. I don't. I mean, people I know like gold, but it's a good thing to have in the near future. When money crashes, it will go back to gold. Right now, Bitcoin's going to crash. All those synthetic coins and money and things are going to slowly take everybody's money and die. And then what? Then they'll reinstate gold because nobody will have it. So there's a game going on with money. There's a game going on with lots of things. All right, what does a mantis look like? It looks like a praying mantis, seriously, but they're about 8 feet tall. All right, it's got this skinny little neck, funny looking head, and the body's kind of really strange as well. But people, we're in trouble. All right, with Putin, with China, and something's going to give that way as well. It's all going to happen at the same time. Now, if you watch the video, which I told everybody to watch last time, the movie video on TV, on the internet, The Alien Interrogation. Watch the whole version of it. I can tell you this, the gray doesn't know the whole truth. It's just like what person on this planet knows the whole truth? They don't. It knows what it's told, what it went to school to learn, however they learn and all that. But here's the thing. He said the grays will be us in the future on this planet. I mean, they clone us. They clone them with their bodies and everything else. And they're kind of like us. But when the world gets destroyed, which he did say, one person is going to be responsible for the world to get destroyed greatly. And then the government was torturing him, trying to make him say who it was, and he wouldn't and couldn't say. So watch things. Watch that. Oh, it's a fake movie. No, it's not. It's real. It was a real interrogation of an alien. Whitney Schreiber was there watching it on when they put it on TV, and he's going, "What are they doing to the poor alien? What are they doing to the poor alien?" So, I watch these people when they cry, when they talk about different things. Cry about all the children and women abducted, abused, lose their children, lose their ovaries, men lose their semen and things like that as well. But it's real, people. Are you ready to understand why the government did work with aliens and why they okayed certain things? That's why I said when MJ-12, if they come out with the government, which they need to, the truth will come out in great ways, but they're not going to say certain things which they can't say because it'll just make the government look horrible, evil. But basically, they need to protect us. Are they? Can they? Will they? Think about that, people. Again, you heard it all here today. It's one of the most important shows we did in a long time, bringing out what's going to happen, what's happening, and what's going to change in the UFO world. It's a great thing for some people. It's a horrible thing for others. But the truth is there. How much of it they're going to give us? They're going to have to give us a piece of the pie. They don't have to give us the whole pie, but they have to give us a piece, and they will have to. So with that, people, please send this link to everybody you know. People need to hear what's happening, what's going on in the real world. All right? This isn't a dream world. I'm not an experiencer. I'm not an abductee. Tina's an abductee. I'm not. I stopped an abduction from happening. All right? And I don't know too many people that could admit it or say it. Let one person say it to me. All right? But again, this is the end of the show for today. Hope you got something out of it. Hope you don't mind where we go, because truth matters, and every level of the UFO world truth, we try to bring it out. All right? I need a cigar. We got comedians in the chat room all the time, and it's funny. But what I'm going to say is, keep your eyes to the sky. Watch it at nighttime. You'll see ships if you never saw one. Do it a couple nights. Spend 2 hours looking at the sky. Seriously. Don't stare at one star. Just keep your eyes open so you can see when the ship's coming and stuff like that. Time it, see which way it goes, see if it moves differently, see if it starts blinking at you, see whatever it does. I had all different things happen to me. So it's not a satellite. You might be able to see a satellite here and there, but you're going to see a lot more UFOs because there's so many up there right now. All right. Peace, love, compassion, whatever you need in your life. I hope you find it. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't ever stop looking for the truth. It's there. Religion's not the truth. Spiritualism isn't the truth. You as a soul is the only truth. Till next time. Bye from Hawaii, the Big Island.